Hello, this is Wachabi. Today is another podcast, and today I'll be discussing about micro brands. Now, um, we all know about the Rolexes of the world, the Seiko, the Citizen, Swatch, and so on and so forth. Now, these are mainstream brands, but there are quite a number of micro brands out there. These are independent manufacturers who, although they are not able to manufacture every part of the watch themselves, but they have a flair and they love watches, and therefore, in terms of design, they have designed watches that are unique and quite refreshing compared to typical designs or standard contemporary ones that you can find in the market. I've been um, in well, not really investing, but I've been acquiring quite a number of micro brands, which I find unique, which I find interesting, and I think in the future, they will have some form of value to them. One of the brands that I love is Steinhardt. It's a new brand, only 15 years old, yet they have taken the initiative to start off doing homage of the traditional Rolex watches. So this is something that I truly appreciate because, mind you, if you want to buy a Rolex sports watch now, the price is exorbitant. That's one. And second, you may not be able to get one anyway, as every authorized dealer seems to be not having them in stock. That's what they say. So this is something which I think it's a homage that watches. Now, when you do invest or you do try to appreciate micro brands, it is important to note that you yourself must like the design. Then that's important. You do not buy a watch because it is recommended, because you read somewhere that people say that yeah, this is a brilliant design and so on and so forth. You yourself must appreciate the design. If you do not like it, don't get it, because micro brands by definition, uh, there's no premium in terms of the brand itself. The premium that people put on a micro brand is the design, and that's it. If you think that you are buying a premium brand, you're not. So do ensure that you like the design that you get that you purchase. So that's key. And the second is that you must have a you must actually take note of the history, because come 20 to 30 years from now, or well, that's a bit too long, but say for 10 years from now, if the watch brand doesn't last, they go out of business, it is important that you have with you some form of the history about the brand, the history about the design, when it started, when it was manufactured, who participated in the whole thing. Now that's very important, because um, when people buy vintage watches, people also buy history. People, if you expect them to just buy the watch just for the sake of the watch, it's different. When you take note of the Daytona that was sold by Paul Newman, right? The highest paid, the highest in terms of auction of a watch, right? Millions of US dollars. Is it because it is a Daytona? No, it is because there is some sort of history behind that watch, and that history is the actor. So in this particular instance, if you want to create value, you must have the ammunition to do that, and the ammunition is history. The history is about this the so-called when the basic, the DNA of the watch. So that's important. Um, once you have all this, then you would be able to maintain or create a collection that people will find value, because you know what you're talking about. You are able to explain the history behind the watch, the players, the designer, and so on and so forth. So that's important. So if you are keen to collect micro brands as part of your collection strategy, make sure you also collect the history. And keeping a blog, keeping a journal or diary about a particular brand, it's key to maintain. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can put it on digital format or file, whatever. But most important, you need to keep it. Okay. Anyway, that's the end of today's podcast. Thank you so much.